So by the time you watch this video, I'll most probably be in hospital having my first eye operation. But what happens with homeschooling? Welcome back to Grace Abounds in Deepest Waters. So as I mentioned in my previous video, this week I'll be going in for an eye operation. And as you know, I am the teacher to my 4 children. And in school, you normally have a substitute teacher that would come in and teach your kids when their principal teacher or the main teacher is not there. But because we're homeschooling, there's no substitute teacher that can come in. However, I've been working on a plan so that school does not stand still for a week or 2. And as I said, I'll be undergoing 2 operations weeks apart from each other. So that means they'll most probably miss out quite a lot of schoolwork if they were to do nothing when I go for the operations. So here's our plan. My husband works full-time from home, and even though he has meetings from time to time, a lot of the time he is also available to answer questions here and there if a child has a question or 2 to ask. What we've also been doing a lot since last year is whenever I was out of action, I would then give the responsibility of English to Aisha to help the twins with their English work. It's easy enough for him to be able to assist them with their English. And math I've given to Asnath because their maths is easy enough for Asnath to understand it and be able to assist them with their maths. Now, I actually done it with ulterior motives as well. Those are the 2 subjects that Asnath and Aisha is not really, it's not their favorite subjects, let's say that. When it comes to Aisha and English, that's his least favorite subject. And I think it will only be of benefit to him if he went through it with them. It will also help him to remember the basics of the subject, and the same applies for Asnath. That's exactly why I made Asnath do the math, so that she can get a reminder of things that she learned when she was in the lower grades, in grade 2 to be specific. So yes, that's what they'll be doing when it comes to maths and English. Then there's 2 more subjects, Afrikaans and life skills. I've actually asked the principal, which is Daddy, if he'll assist them with their life skills as well as their Afrikaans. They actually enjoy doing Afrikaans with Daddy. Afrikaans is my hubby's first language, and he's extremely good in it, better than Mommy, because it was Mommy's second language. But let's just be honest, when you were colored in South Africa, there's no way you can't speak Afrikaans unless you grew up in a place where Afrikaans was not the second language in the school where you went to. Yes, I done well in Afrikaans. In fact, I think it's one of the only subjects that I actually did do extremely well in when I finished school. So yes, Daddy will be helping with Afrikaans as well as life skills. That covers the 4 subjects that they have to do, and I'll also be throwing in some nice artsy things that they can do, just in case the wheels come off the bus here and there. I think I'm going to get them some nice finger paints so that they are able to do art, also just to keep themselves busy and be quiet and give the older siblings time to do their schoolwork. Then when it comes to Asnath and Aisha, I'm going to show you what our daily rhythm of the day is. We don't really stick to it so vigorously with the twins, but when it comes to Asnath and Aisha, we actually do stick to their daily rhythm. You know, when you're in school, you have a timetable, and classes would go according to the timetable. Mondays, you'll know from the first period to the last period, these are the classes I'll be going to for every period until the end of the day. with your breaks in between, assembly on the top of the timetable. Well, we use something similar, just a little bit more different, just as everything else is different when you do it at home. I don't try to replicate school at home. That's the whole purpose of home schooling. We don't want to do school at home. So my kids don't have timetables with strict times to stick to. At 8 o'clock you do your first subject, and at 9 o'clock you do your next subject. So last year we started what we call a daily rhythm, and I'm trying to get the light sorted. We started something called a daily rhythm that actually worked very well for us. Those who know us knows that we went to Cape Town for a month, and by December we had completed all our schoolwork for the year. I think that's mostly thanks to the daily rhythm that we were using. We did do school in Cape Town, very little schooling, but we still managed to finish the full year's work by the end of the year. I'm going to show you what my kids' daily rhythm looks like. It's basically just a guideline of which subjects we're going to do on which days, so that they know which work to do every day and how much of each subject. So when you see on our daily rhythm now that we just do English, Maths and Afrikaans on a certain day, don't think that we just do one activity of English, one activity of Afrikaans and one activity of Maths and we call it a day. There is strict guidelines as to how many activities should be done for each subject, and my kids stick to those guidelines, and because of that they manage to finish their work on time every time. In fact, schools are still in their first term, but we've already started our second term's work because of the way that we do school. So when you hear my kids does 4 subjects a day, don't think, wow, 4 subjects a day, that's so little. My kids do 8 periods a day. Yes, they do 8 subjects a day, but the amount of work that they do per day most definitely differs from the amount of work that my kids would do per subject on any given day. Not saying that my kids does more work at home than what they would have done if they were in school. I'm just saying that they might do less subjects, but the quantity of work per subject is more than what they would have done in school. So this is what the daily rhythm for my grade 8s look like. So there's my colors. Esna's pink and Aisha's green again. Okay, so Esna has her set amount of work she needs to do on a daily basis, or every time the subject comes up, that's how much work she has to do. For math, she's got 2 pages of maths to do. English, 3 activities. Afrikaans, 3 pages. And then the learning subjects, for each subject they must do 4 activities. Then there's 7 pages of reading that must be done. I'm almost sure this child never reads 7 pages because she does books at a time. We go to the library today and tomorrow she says, Mommy, I need to go get new books. So she never reads 7 pages. Then Aisha, for maths, 1 exercise because he sometimes uses a different maths textbook. English is 3 activities. Afrikaans is 3 pages. A learning subject, 4 activities. And then reading 7 pages. That also just depends on the book because he's got his interests. He knows the books that he loves, and if it's a book he loves, he'll read that 7 pages. If he doesn't like the book so much, I don't know about the 7 pages. Then every day they do maths, English plus English reading, Afrikaans plus Afrikaans reading. So those 3 subjects is compulsory for each and every day. Okay, then focus. Okay, so for my kids' subjects, because of the amount of subjects, we don't do all the subjects every week. we've actually split the subjects up. So week 1, we will do all these yellow subjects. And then next week, if next week is week 2, then it's the blue week. So week 2 would be the blue week. So week 1, we'll do natural science. That's only one learning subject per day, okay? So they have to do those 3 subjects plus natural science on that Monday. Next week, Monday, they have to do those 3 subjects plus technology. And remember, technology for a learning subject, it would have to be 4 activities. So for every learning subject, it would be 4 activities. So Monday, natural science. Tuesday, we don't have any learning subject because that's our Tuesday church day. So in order to be in church on a Tuesday evening, we have only our compulsory subjects and not that additional subject. The Wednesday would be history, the next week geography. Then the Thursday would be EMS, the next week life orientation. And then on a Friday, it's Mommy's Choice. The first Friday of the yellow Friday is Mommy's Choice, and the blue Friday would be creative arts. And that's how our rhythm works, our daily rhythm. As you can see, there's no time on here. I leave it up to their own discretion. They learn to manage their own time. And once all these subjects are done for the day, you are done for the day. So yes. Okay, so in the light of me going for my IOP, my older 2 knows exactly what's expected of them. They will be sticking to their timetable, and I will have no worries about them missing out any schoolwork. It will just be school as usual for them. So once my eye has recovered, we can then go over the work and check it. Something that I also feel the need to mention is that since COVID, we are fortunate enough that most schools has put their schoolwork online. So for each and every one of these learning subjects, my kids also know that you just go to YouTube and you type in the topic of the lesson that you are doing, and a teacher will come up on Worksheet Cloud or whichever other YouTube channel there is, and a teacher will actually explain the work to them. So even though I'll be in for an op, they'll be able to go to Worksheet Cloud or any channel on YouTube, and the schoolwork will be explained to them because it is all there. So my kids has been outside playing. It is time for them to start coming back in the house now. But I'd like to say thank you for joining me on today's video. It was nice having you here, someone I could chat to. Please like and subscribe. And if you heard anything that you liked, please also click on the thumbs up button. And God bless.